beer after a hard day's work. Nothing like it.
Nothing like it, okay. Welcome back to Sun Service, and we're gonna do the International Woman of Mysteries story quest, aka Yelan.
Go!
Let's go. Walk around leeway daw. Ano naman? More like glide around leeway. Am I right, Venti? Because wouldn't gliding be faster? Lagi yung ganun. Let's go. Ay, wait. Let's feed the dog over here. Ang tagal na kasi hindi ko na... Ang tagal ko nang hindi na... bibisita. Ang tagal. Ang tagal. Where's the tagal? Feed. Let's feed chicken. Ta-da! You can eat now.
That dog just talked, man. Ba't di natin ni-record yun?
Yung ano?
Feeding the doggy.
We did.
We just did?
We are recording now.
Why didn't you say hi?
I did.
Oh, you already did?
Yes.
Hi, guys. Hi. Moist.
Walk around in Liver Harbor. Ayan, let's go. Another Genshin.
Did you hear about my review about moist sushi? Moist rice sushi?
No.
Anyway, I must...
Topic. What? Ay, ano pa?
Kasi,
Downloading
kailangan
pa.
nila marinig yung criticism on really good rice sushi. Guys,
Tama na.
sometimes
Enough
the
with
best rice sushi you're gonna get, yung authentic na, dapat yung fresh, no? Nakikita mong hinahanda nila. Tapos pagkabigay sa'yo, kainin mo na. Kahit kainin mo sa harapan nila.
Tama na, let's go.
Okay? Dun, pagkabayad mo.
Enough with that.
Ay, salamat po Buksan mo na. Kainin mo sa harapan nila. Sarap po ate, sarap po kuya. Salamat ka.
Enough with the food talk. Una, saan yung mga fouls dito?
Bakit? You try to delete them. Oh, yan you deleted them. Ayan
Ayan na, let's go. Enough with the food talk, let's go. Yan. Finally.
Traveler, Paimon.
Who is
It's
she?
been a long time.
We've met this person who made Burdo. They're about to eat Paimon. Buti na lang.
Yung time ni Yes.
Thanks to the help of people like you and
God,
colleagues like Ganyu.
mga NPC,
better
they
all
look
the
so
time.
blank.
But I've been feeling distracted at work lately.
Has something
I
You don't-
just feel
You don't look
constantly agitated.
convincingly tired and distracted.
It's a long story.
come on.
But my
I'm
father,
sure it's a long
he's thinking of
story.
stepping down from
Long story.
Tianshu's
Yeah, it is a
position
long story.
due to health issues.
What's wrong with Uncle Tian?
Don't ask Paimon.
Nothing specifically.
Oh, nothing daw.
He's not unwell. He says he's just increasingly low on energy these days. He's always said old age comes for us all in the end. Still, I just can't help but feel a little emotional watching it happen to him. Anyway, my father's currently on the second floor of Yangsheng Tea House.
Dali.
Why don't you come pay him a
Race
visit
you there,
with me?
Hushin.
Let's go.
He seems very fond of you too.
Oh, fun daw. Let's
I'm
go.
sure chatting with you will make him very happy.
Yeah.
Ayun, race you there, Hushin.
Where's you there? Nandiyan na siya. May atupagin na nga siya. She's gonna do something.
Tupagin niya yung race to the second floor.
Of Yanchang Tea House? Okay, yes.
Let's go. Hat. Oh, a little pond. Pwede maligo dun. Free water.
Eh, sa taas nito. Ay, wala. Stairs. Ano ba yung stairs nito pa?
Maybe it hasn't loaded. Kasi, they need to hear about,
Tama na, with the moist, yes.
yeah, no stairs.
Ay.
Oh, see? It's very important. Mo, diba?
Uncle Tian, we're here to chat with you.
Okay.
Oh god, they just added
What a lovely surprise.
a beard, very
Why don't you
pale
go
hair.
downstairs and get the shopkeeper to make us a
an
fresh
old
pot
man
of tea?
voice. But it's oh, yung pusa doon. Wee! Everybody, kitty. Oh, hello.
I heard
Oh, naglalakad
you've been
si Lolo. Hindi naman
traveling
tired eh.
all over the place recently. I would very much like to hear your adventure stories.
So, I'm more
Ayun na.
concerned about your health. Is everything okay? This one.
Oh man, we got stuck in this cave. Down this
Don't
chasm.
I'm quite alright. It's just the years gradually catching up with me. As I grow older, I'm starting to find that with many things, though the mind is willing, the flesh is weak. Especially recently, I've noticed a rather drastic drop in my energy levels. I am still very much in good standing.
Parang
As the
inantok.
Tianshu today.
Yeah, okay. Matutulog na ako. Umaga na, oh. Nag-umaga na. Ay. Still. Oh, di pala yung sinabas mo na teacher mo siya. Ang bilis magsalita ni Paimon. Kasi si Lolo Chan.
Lulu-chan. Lulu-chan.
Yeah, Lolo Chan, that's his name. Chan.
Speaking,
Ah,
the Tianshu
Sorry,
rarely
Big
public. Okay.
stay
The
behind.
Tianshu.
Plan, give advice.
Rarely.
So
Umaga na, Lolo
the
Chan.
selection process would not be suitable.
Yes.
We also want to keep any prospective Tianshu candidates free from influence by outside forces. So we tend to be as discreet
Okay.
as possible in their assessment and appointment. For these reasons, the incumbent Tianshu typically recommends their candidate of choice, and this is then approved by the other Qixing members.
Yes.
So in other words,
You
you
pick
pick
someone.
someone,
Uh-uh.
and then Lady Kuching, Lady Ningguang, and the other Qixing appoint them?
Something like that, yes.
Correct.
Correct.
Unfortunately, due to my health, I won't be able to assess every candidate myself.
Candidates.
Not to despair, however.
He
Because
can't.
I found
Of course, he
someone
can't.
exceptionally capable to act on my behalf as assessment officer.
At least mabilis si Yelan. Si Lolo Chan, a-assess niya
Recently became acquainted with her yourself.
of one person. Only one person.
Who is it?
I'm heartbroken. I thought it might take you a little longer than this to
Kung
figure
bilis, oh,
out
di ba?
about me.
Okay, okay. Hindi, yung animation kasi, it's like what's under the stairs. Anyway.
Jackpot. Uncle Tian here asked me to assess 3 candidates for him.
Wala, 3 candidates.
Fancy joining me? You'll be among the first to get to know the next Tianshu. Might be a good opportunity for you.
Ay, ko.
What do you think?
It's a good opportunity. I'm not really interested. I'm not Joke lang to.
I might think so too. It can't be a bad thing
The
to
first-
be on good terms with a new
first choice.
Qixing, right?
Ito
Alright
parang naalala
then.
ko yung persona, parang I'm not interested lang gano'n. Yung mga gano'n.
Though,
Yeah,
I gotta
they
say,
Mga
have
dialogue.
choices.
you say you're into behind-the-scenes planning? My work's of the covert variety too. Don't you think I might make a good Tianshu?
Huh? Yelan, you want to be the next Tianshu?
I'm not opposed to the idea, but I suspect Ningguang wouldn't let you go
suspect.
very easily after how long you've been working together.
Ah,
So, how about this? If your investigation reveals that none of the other candidates are qualified for the position, I'll recommend you for the job.
Deal. Well, you guys take your time. Everything's all set for the assessments to go ahead. Meet me on the first floor when you're ready. Until then, have a pleasant conversation.
Okay.
Oh, and no need to pay for your tea. As the new owner of this fine establishment,
Oh,
this runs on the house.
she the boss of the tea house.
After telling the attention about your recent adventures, you return to the entrance of the tea house. Okay.
You know, in
You're all set?
Western places, it's the
Uncle
pubs
Tian
that
seems
are the
really more
places of
young.
gossip.
It's like
Here
all his
in the
energy's
eastern
gone.
place, it's the tea houses.
Yeah, it may sound harsh, but Uncle
gossip.
Tian is past his prime. He's not cut out for this anymore. So he's recommended 3 candidates. Their names are Qinwei, Mingguo, and Zhi. Qinwei is a wealthy entrepreneur. Mingguo works at the Liyue Ministry of Civil Affairs, and Zhi is focused on study and travel. Try to keep all that in
3
mind.
candidates.
Of course,
More like
it doesn't really
4
matter if you forget,
candidates.
since we'll be assessing them at Yuehai Pavilion in a short while.
Tianwei, Mingguo, Qi. Paimon should be able to remember their names, but what does the assessment involve exactly?
Let's leave that until we get to Yuehai Pavilion. All right, Heads in the game, people.
Banda
The
dun,
stakes don't
papunta
get
kung
much
saan-
higher than a change in the Qixing.
Kung saan
We can't
yung,
afford to miss anything, no matter how
cook-off
small.
dati.
Got it. We'll
Back
keep
then.
our eyes wide open.
Yes. 4 eyes. Because 2 for permanent and 2 the traveler. Anyway, yeah, eyes. What do we have before the inspection? Let's go. You hide from pavilion. Banda dito. Ay, banda dun pa. Let's go. Sa taas pa. Ayun, we can spin, ba? Ayun, spin tuloy. Yan. Fish. Okay, let's go. Sa taas. Dito natin na meet Chishan her dati, remember guys? Anyway. Dito yung dati yung, ayun nga, about the repairs of the, what's that again? Yung the floating palace niya. Wala yun.
My legs are getting sore. What is wrong with this assessment officer? This is a huge occasion and I don't even get a chair. I've dealt with all kinds of people in my time, but never have I been made to stand while I'm waiting for an appointment.
Okay.
Oh, I mean, I think it's fine.
That's called being complacent.
The interpreter.
If you're happy
the
to just
businessman.
accept the way things are, you'll never be able to change anything in the future.
This is question mark.
Oh,
Two question
come
marks.
on.
Another question
That's
mark.
just... Now you're just being unreasonable.
All right, you two. Let's not get into a big argument over
Or
this.
sila yung
It's
tatlong
not
candidate.
worth it.
Well, technically
Qianwei,
it's
that
4
was a bit
because
uncalled for.
Yelan
And Mingbo cut him some
inserted
slack.
herself in
We've
the
all been standing around for a while. It's
number of
natural to be
candidates.
getting irritable. Look, how about this? There's no rule saying we're obliged to stand up while we wait, so why don't we borrow some chairs from the guild nearby?
Fine.
Fine.
They're not the best
I can
quality
see
chairs, to be sure. But under the circumstances, it would be better than nothing.
Kaya ano yun? Kaya Ningguang. You entered the assessment venue with Yelan.
It looks like all 3 candidates have arrived.
Oh, it was those 3? Yes.
We'll meet them formally soon. Before that, let me run you through the assessment process. I've split it into 2 stages: current affairs and planning, and face-to-face interview. In the first stage, candidates are required to submit a manifesto for Liyue's development. In the second stage, we will ask them some questions in person. Writing a manifesto takes time, so I informed them of this requirement in advance. These are the reports they submitted.
Wow. One of them is really thick.
It's also worth mentioning a stipulation I gave them. Whoever is appointed as the new Tianshu will be expected to implement their plan as put forward in their manifesto. Failing the occurrence of some cataclysmic event, they will not be permitted to change their plan.
Okay.
Therefore, these 3 piles of documents in front of us represent where each candidate stands on key policy issues. There's still some time. Have a skim through, get a first impression of what each person's proposing. I'll be waiting off to the side. Just let me know when you're done.
Okay.
Finished?
No.
Almost.
Almost. Okay, wait. Oh, Liang?
Do you need a hand with anything? Huixin is taking some time off at the moment.
Yuyan?
I'm covering for her.
Ah, one of the secretaries.
Just let me know if you need anything.
Such a nice dress.
Yeah, it is.
But the sleeve, you can tell na generic. It's almost nice, but the
Let's
sleeves.
sit. Let's sit. Yes. Okay. A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L,
M.
M. M muna. Ningbo's manifesto covers domestic affairs quite comprehensively, focusing on people's livelihoods. The core principle seems to be
Spy.
the greater good means a world that works for everyone. Okay. Spicy, ano? Yelan yun eh. Anyway, Qianwei's manifesto. This one. Chinese Manifesto addresses many commercial issues and provides some very penetrating analysis. His view seems to be that regulations and incentives are both indispensable. Okay. G's Manifesto covers domestic affairs, foreign affairs, and checks and balances, all in great detail. The focus seems to be problem solving. It provides concise and clear solutions to various problems. It's so thick that you only have time to skim through it roughly. Okay. Check on the tip of the kid. Okay.
Finished, huh? What did you think?
Everyone took it very seriously.
Of course they did. They have the chance to be picked as the new Tianshu, so you can bet they're putting their best foot forward. And keep in mind, whoever gets in has to execute their plan as written.
Yes.
Nobody wants to have any regrets.
What do you think, Yelan?
That's for me to know and you to find out. We can talk more after the interviews.
Okay, sure.
We'll see the candidates now. Let's do one at a time. Start with Chenwei.
Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Yelan brings Chenwei in.
Oh? So you two are the assessment officers, are you?
Yeah.
I had assumed
More
that
like
given the
3,
great
because I'm-
import of this situation, Lady Ningguang would perhaps be assessing us in person. I certainly hadn't imagined I'd be seeing two entirely unfamiliar faces. I trust you've read through my manifesto? I'd be more than happy to clarify any details you found difficult to grasp. It was written with an expert audience in mind, after all.
Mind your tone, mister.
Relax. It wasn't intended as a personal slight against anyone in particular. I was simply stating a fact.
Man, your communication skills. You learned them from Cloud Retainer. I don't think kilala niya si Cloud Retainer, so I'll just go with this then.
Cloud Retainer?
Huh?
You know this Adeptus? Oh, yes, I remember now. You
Parehas
must
lang.
be the traveler that people are constantly talking about.
Yeah.
With your sterling
Looks that way.
reputation, you must have a respectable level of erudition. Perhaps you will be able to understand the concepts I have put forward.
Parehas lang about Cloud Retainer.
Though I
Anyway.
should get my hopes up.
After asking Chenwei some questions, Yelan tells him to fetch
Is it my turn?
Ningbo. Okay.
Yes. Please introduce yourself.
Yes.
I'm, Mingbo. I work in the Ministry of Civil Affairs.
Civil Affairs.
I've worked there
He's a
for,
businessman.
9 years
Siya, Elisa
5 months.
travel and ano.
and 3 days. In that
And that
time,
is
I've handled
2,347
2,347 cases.
Whoa.
I have 12 active cases at the moment. They should be concluded in
16 days.
16 days.
Okay.
My current work is related to urban planning, and I'm also responsible for auditing the accounts. To be more precise, there are 3 parts to the accounts, namely,
Is it just Paimon, or is he not very good at public speaking?
You know what? Let's leave the self-introduction there and move on to some questions.
Okay, sure.
oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, forces her way through a few questions to Ningbo, then gets him to fetch G. Okay. Between travel and
Hello.
stuff.
Not gonna lie, I'm feeling a little nervous.
Okay, sure.
What
would you
travel.
like to
you
know?
parang
You're here
mukha
to
siyang
assess me,
travel,
so
ano eh.
ask away and I'll
Scholar or
answer your
something.
questions to the best of my ability.
Parang mukha siyang...
The hat. I know
hat.
that kind of hat.
What's the
Oh
hat?
god.
Your manifesto is
Voter
very
hat.
wide in its
Okay, okay.
scope, but you don't seem to be personally involved in many of the specific fields. How can you be sure that you have the ability to put your plan into action?
That was blunt. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Very fair question.
Yes.
I completely understand where you're coming from. But I'm confident in my plan. I've visited many different places, talked to lots of people with far more expertise than myself, and my manifesto is the conclusion of these efforts. Of course, 2 different problems can be interconnected in very complicated ways, and you might reach 2 very contradictory conclusions depending on which one you're focusing on. What I've tried to do is strike a balance. In other words, present an optimal solution to all the problems as a whole.
Ano? Compromise, I think?
Yeah.
How do you plan to determine whether you are right or wrong about your proposed solution being the optimal one?
Okay.
A great question. Well, I'd start by having my colleagues and the secretaries of the Yue High Pavilion evaluate any proposals before implementation.
Okay.
Post-implementation, it would all come down to the results.
This is basically an election, pero instead of the popular people, sila yung, may iba yung government ng Leeway, and I prefer Mondstadt still. Anyway. Kasi parang dyan, you can see the Qixing, hope I pronounce it right, is the oligarch.
Okay.
So, basta sila yung nagmumuno, and parang, something, they may merit, of course, may merit then, and they get to elect amongst themselves. So, parang, there's little vote, I don't know, I admit, I'm not well versed masyado. It can be, at the same time, iba-iba interpretations amongst fans, but anyway.
If it turned out that my
Let's move on,
judgment
let's
was to
move on.
blame for poor
Before I
results,
go,
I would take responsibility.
go write a book with my explanations. If it turned out that judgment was to blame for poor results, I would take responsibility. Okay, nice. Accountability. Okay, sure.
Nice answer. All right, next question.
After asking G a few questions, Yelan sends him on his way.
He seems like a great guy. Everything he said was thoughtful and logical, and he was just a pleasure to listen to.
I agree. Meh.
Bahala ka. What do you think?
I'm going for the sus route.
Here's my take on what we just learned.
Sure.
As you saw, Qianwei is highly knowledgeable. He proposes many excellent ideas in his manifesto, which effectively target the big issues.
Yes, okay.
But he is very proud and incredibly stubborn. He doesn't care much about other people's feelings.
Okay.
Mingguo's plan is more thorough and more measured. You can tell he's meticulous in his work, very detail-oriented. But he and Qianwei are otherwise polar opposites. Mingguo is not very articulate and comes across as very timid in conversation.
Okay.
Perfect summary. Paimon couldn't agree more. You're good at this, Yelan.
Last but not least, Zhi. His manifesto is full of pertinent details, his methodology is sound, and his proposals cover a broad range of fields, which is quite a rare feat.
And then we get to the but.
The depth he goes into in each and every area means it can only be a product of painstaking work. Plus, he is modest and good at dealing with people.
Let me guess, Yelan and the Traveler Paimon will still, with that guy,
But what really interests me is that many of his views happen to coincide with Uncle Tian's. Having someone like Zhi take the position would certainly put Uncle Tian's mind at rest.
I'm still sus.
Great!
I don't know. Parang nagiging trope na yung...
We'll see.
Let's go back and report. Okay.
Let's go back and report to Uncle Tian.
To hear his thoughts on the matter. Kahit wala na siya dyan sa assessment stuff. More like electing new officials. Ministry of Civil Affairs. So, iba pa yun. Iba-ibang... Sure, sila yung mga top... Yan naman, may hierarchy of... Pero Ministry of Civil... Another government institution still. So, parang urban planning, ganun. Ministry of Civil Affairs. Iba pa yung So, yeah, may still some stuff of... popular votes and democracy and stuff. Pero I think pag magiging cheesy yata, I don't know. Anyway, Uncle Tian, we just glided down. Excuse me. Uncle Tian about assessment process. Yeah. Let's hear his thoughts.
I see.
It's more
And it's more or less as I anticipated.
Okay.
All right. Then let me ask this. The ideas in Zhi's manifesto are very similar to your own. Is there any particular reason behind this?
I didn't want to say anything when I gave you the list of candidates. For fear of affecting your judgment. But I can tell you now.
Okay.
Those three candidates have all studied under me in the past. It's only natural that they share some similarities with me.
Siya yung,
But Xin Wei went on to focus on his business, and Ming Guo has always been occupied with his work at the Ministry of Civil Affairs.
entrepreneur, business.
Of all of them, Zuri was with me for the longest duration.
Okay.
Oh,
The
how
student
did you get to know them all, Uncle
in
Tian?
handling affairs.
Chen Wei was referred to me by an old friend.
Okay.
Ming Guo came to my attention in the course of my work.
Okay.
As for Zuri, that was pure happenstance.
Coincidence?
We first met
Happenstance?
while fishing. Gradually, as we got to know each other, we started discussing all sorts of topics.
Okay.
Zuri came from a poor family, and his parents died when he was very young. But he was a gifted student and a fast learner. He reminded me of a younger version of myself. So I started out giving him a few words of advice when we were out fishing and noticed how quickly he got on.
Sounds like he's a friend to you. Sounds like he's family to you. Friend. Let's go with the family.
Quite. And now, all of a sudden,
Family.
he's grown into a mature young man.
Travel, ano siya?
It's a joy to
Travel and ano siya?
But it also
Parang
gets
scholar.
one thinking. The
Something
young
like that.
are growing up. I am growing old. How
Passing the
time
torch.
flies. No one can escape the cycle of life.
I don't know, Uncle Tian. You still seem in pretty good shape to me. You might have another few years of work left in you, don't you think?
No. No.
Oh, you. There's really no need to console me. Having less energy than I used to isn't such a bad thing. It just means I finally have a good reason to retire. Spend my days doing what old men like me should be doing.
Siya yata yung
Going fishing
nagfifish dun
whenever
sa ano?
I feel like it.
Sa boat, naka-boat siya.
Sounds like you sure love
Buting,
fishing, Uncle
nandiyan
Tian.
siya. Nandun siya.
There's
I guess he's
nothing
living
quite
his
like
life well
fishing to
already.
pass the time.
Matagal na yun.
And
Nandun siya
freshly
dun.
caught fish,
And we can actually talk to
they
him.
make the
NPC
most
siya dun.
beautiful
And then
fish
yan.
soup with barely
Backstory,
any
ano
preparation
siya?
required.
4 Yelan.
Fresh fish.
Wow. Paimon and I are on the same wavelength when it comes to
Doesn't
food.
Fish lip
Also,
soup, guys. You
some
guys
time
know
ago.
fish lip soup?
Jerry purchased a very special recipe from an old fisherman.
Okay.
When we've been fishing recently,
Okay.
Jerry always brings some
Ginabingat
extra
tayo.
ingredients he prepared in
Tagal niya
advance.
magsalita. Hindi, mabilis talaga yung time
Addition
dyan.
of these makes the soup taste even more wonderful.
Time yun dyan.
That flavor makes for a fond
Anyway.
memory. But at my age, who knows how many more chances I have left to taste it again.
There are many chances, I'm sure.
Oh, Paimon, thank you. Paimon really wants to try it.
Same here. Paimon,
Let's
same
get back to the matter at hand.
here. Yes.
Uncle Tian, we've reported back. Do you have a
Yeah,
verdict?
I appointed you as the assessment officer. And I trust your judgment.
The white cat. In Hoot House.
Had you not asked me why Jerry's ideas were so similar to mine, I was not going to mention my history with any of them. This decision must be guided by what is fair and right. Please disregard all other considerations and make your final decision only after a thorough review of each candidate's talents and capabilities.
I agree. Yes.
Remember, you must be thorough.
Mabusisi.
Understood.
Anyway, yes.
Come on, let's go talk somewhere else.
Sure.
Bye-bye, Uncle Tian. Look after yourself.
You follow Yelan outside the tea house. Right, sure.
So, it's gonna be
You know.
Judy, right?
She's the gonna do some sneaky stuff, you know.
His manifesto was written well, and he's the best speaker.
Yung plus sauce pa pala siya, ganun. And Yelan is the rightful, rightful
I don't know.
successor. Yan naman, Ewan ko, I've been predicting that yung mga ganun stories. Mga trope na ganun.
Easy. Let's not rush. There's no time limit for this assessment.
It is I, the rightful.
So, are you gonna give him more tests or something?
More like investigate, if you know what I mean.
No, nothing like that. The assessment itself is complete. But let me give you a word
I
of
don't buy
advice.
that.
Things are not always as they appear.
Yes.
The biggest no-no in intelligence work is to
Exactly.
only get information from the person of interest themselves. The truth is almost always hidden beneath many layers of deception. You have to get information through many different channels.
Yes.
For example, Wenyuan, Shanghua.
Yes?
Yes. Mga informant.
Lady Yelan, what are your orders?
Where the hell did they come from?
Who are they?
Yeah, I
Where did they come from?
Did they scare you? These two are Wenyuan and Shanghua. They work for me. As my trusted assistants, they are always standing guard nearby. They also perform various assignments as required. Shanghua is a business expert who gets his information by trading. Wenyuan relies on word of mouth. And there's also
Mga informants
Pei,
niya, ganun.
who's not here right now.
That meathead must have been out there on sea surveillance for some time now. Is he alright?
I seem
I seem to remember that he can't swim.
Wow.
Oh, you mean Artaki ito?
Nothing can take that guy down.
Nakaswimming.
Certainly not a little wind and waves.
Shanghua, visit all the commerce guilds and look into Qianwei's background. Wenyuan, go to the Ministry of Civil Affairs and look through Minghua's work files.
Yes, ma'am.
And yung isa out in the sea is going to investigate si or Yelan investigate the yung successor.
So what about
Yung
jury?
parang yan jury. Tayo, of course.
Zhi, well, obviously as the most
Of
promising
course.
candidate, we
See
will be
this from a mile
investigating him
away.
ourselves.
Yung mga
Let's go to the docks first. Lots of people passing through there.
Anyway.
You can find out all kinds of things.
Yes.
If we're looking for information,
Assassin's Creed.
why don't we try talking
Yelan
to
is Assassin's
Bolai,
Creed.
the owner of Wanyu Boutique?
Si Bolai, the tax evader.
Oh.
The sus, Pero,
He
yun
does
lang.
business at the North Wharf.
Maybe he's some
Maybe
have some
he
use
has
for
some
us.
news for us.
Okay.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Nice, Paimon.
Let's go and ask him.
But before we ask Bolai, we're gonna end here.
Okay, cool.
The North Wharf. Dito, wait lang. I'm gonna show you. Uy, may pa pala dito. From the, kaninang, Uy, dito siya. Well, I'm gonna show you where. Sa kabila. Kalimutan ko yung liway. Tagal lang yun. Dito yan eh. Sa kabila siya dun, sa baba. Dito siya. Over here. And climb down here. Yun yung parang ganyan yung nandito si the guy who's gonna retire. Diyan nag-fish na siya, nakaganon siya. And we can talk to him. But not that boat. May specific boat dun. Parang di dito eh, sa kabila ng Leeway City. Si the old guy. The one who's gonna retire. Ayan. Beyond, we walk there, we go there, and we will see Bolai. Anyway, who's an NPC and who also sells things that we can use for the game. Anyway, but before we go to Bolai, we're gonna end here, like I said earlier, and see you everyone for the next
If you ever want to
video.
trade tactics, I'm always ready.
Yeah, bye bye.